Welcome to the Business for London video on email marketing with Mailchimp. In this video, we're going to look at what email marketing is and its benefits. We're going to talk about GDPR compliance, collecting and importing contacts, creating sign-up forms so that people can join your lists, and creating email campaigns and measuring performance. So what is email marketing? Well, email marketing is a form of digital marketing. It's a tool that's used to send customers and prospects emails to promote or sell or increase brand awareness or loyalty. Email marketing is one of the most effective ways to reach your customers and prospects. It's a great way of developing and strengthening relationships with them. They can open them whenever they want to. They don't have to open them as they arrive. It's relatively low cost. In fact, Mailchimp, up to a certain number of contacts, you'll find is free. And even if you have a paid subscription, you'll find that it doesn't cost an awful lot of money. It allows for GDPR compliance. You can send customized emails, and of course you can track who's opening your emails, whether they're clicking on any of the links in the emails that you're sending out. It's very scalable, so as your business grows, you could have more contacts. You can also categorize your contacts and even segment your lists so that you can send more tailored emails to specific customers or prospects. There are various types of email marketing. Promotional emails, of course, are the most obvious. These are used to directly sell your product or your service. Educational emails are a great contrast to promotional emails. They allow you to demonstrate your expertise and they give information without asking the customer to buy. You could also use email marketing to send a regular newsletter, which is a great way of staying at the front of the minds of your prospects or customers. Let's talk a little bit about the different types of email marketing. Drip campaigns are a series of pre-scheduled emails that are sent to customers after they complete a specific action. So for example, if you were giving away an ebook, you would ask prospects to go to a sign-up form and give you some details. You would then send an automated email providing a link to where they can download the ebook. You would then have a series of emails that would go out maybe a few days after, asking people if they'd managed to download the ebook successfully. And over a series of other emails, you would send helpful information about the ebook you'd supplied and perhaps nurture them towards buying a product or getting in touch with you to have a conversation. Engagement emails include surveys, a request for a testimonial, or any other request that asks for personal engagement from the prospect or customer. Now, applications like Mailchimp have GDPR options built in. GDPR is the General Data Protection Regulation, and your audience can opt in and unsubscribe. That's very important with email marketing. This is not the types of emails that you send from your personal email address or your business email address. Email marketing systems allow people to opt in, and it must be an opt-in. The opt-in is that they must check a box to agree to receiving emails from you. And the other thing about GDPR is that when you use a system like Mailchimp, the people that you're emailing, none of their email addresses are shared with other people. There's no risk of that. Now, you can't add contacts or email them without a legal basis to do so under GDPR. If someone has been a customer of yours and you have sold them a service or a product, you have a legitimate reason to add them to an email marketing system and send them emails, providing they have the option to unsubscribe. And of course, if people actually opt in via a form, then of course you have the right to keep in touch with them. And you can also email anyone who's made an inquiry via email. Or if they've provided you with their email by some other means and said they're happy to receive emails from you, again, providing they have the option to unsubscribe should they wish to do so. So one of the features of Mailchimp and any other email marketing system for that matter is that they provide sign-up forms. You can create your own sign-up forms within Mailchimp, and these are used for people to opt in. They have their own address on the internet. You don't have to embed them in your website, but you can if you want to. And what they do is, when people put their details in, they automatically populate your Mailchimp audience, your Mailchimp email marketing list. And essentially, all the details are added from the form straight into the Mailchimp software. You can set them up, they look like this, and they include things like marketing preferences, and they're very easy to set up. So let's go and have a little look around Mailchimp and at the sign-up forms. So this is Mailchimp, and when you come into Mailchimp, you start off on the home screen, which is here. You can do things like create emails. You can import your contacts there. If you have your contacts in a CSV file, which is a comma separated file, which can be generated from Excel. Let's just say people are signing up on your website. The sign up form will add them, but if you have a list of contacts somewhere else that you know that you're allowed to use, then you can put them into a spreadsheet and import them here. If we go to forms, there are different types of forms you can create here, for example. And the easiest way to create a sign up form so that people's details get added to a specific list in Mailchimp is to go to audience. As you can see here, you've got, again, import contacts there. You can manage an audience that you've created. You can add contacts, and there are preferences for subscribers and a number of other settings here. Your audiences are listed here. Now, if you've got a free version of Mailchimp, you'll only be able to create one list, okay, one audience. But because I've got a paid subscription, I've got different audiences. If I click on this here, you'll see that I've got a bunch of other audiences, and I've even got a little test audience that I use just to test emails out. I've created a Business for London audience, and if I want to create a sign up form for people to just get information about the Business for London program, I can create my sign up form here. It gives me a number of different types of forms I can create. There's an e-commerce pop-up form here, and there's different ones here. These are all templates essentially, but if I want to just create my own form, I can create a new form here, and I can have a pop-up form, one that pops up on my website when people land on my website. I can have one that's embedded in the website itself, or I can just have a sign-up landing page, which is actually one of the easiest ways of doing this. Because of course, even if it's at a different location on the internet, you can just put a link in on your website, and as far as subscribers are concerned, there's no reason for them to think that they've gone somewhere else. I'm going to click sign up landing page, and I'm going to call it Business for London. I'm using the audience called Business for London, and I'm going to continue to the builder. And again, I've got a number of templates I can use. I might just want to grow my list, for example. I can put my logo in here by uploading it. I can edit this bit of text here. Make sure you save anything that you change. You edit on the right hand side, as you can see. Just so you know, the form that I'm creating here is just for the purposes of this video. You can make changes here. You can add links to other content. You can add images. There's a number of things you can do here. A standard toolbar here that you might see in any other word processing application such as Word or online editors. And then this information here is I'm asking people for their email address. If I want to collect extra information, I can say that I want their first name. And if I want their first name and last name, but I want the email after that, I can just literally click on the three dots next to it and drag it down. And here you can see the form is now first name, email address. Move this one up perhaps. First name, last name, email address. Here's the marketing permissions here. This is about GDPR. They have to select at least one way that they're willing to hear from us. And of course we've got email here, which is all we need really. And then the button down here is subscribe. Confirmation message is after the form is submitted, the message that they'll get. This is the message here, success, you've been added to the audience. So if it was an ebook, I'd probably say, success, please check your email. For your ebook. If I wanted to center this, for example, I can edit that. And here you can see that this is aligned left here. I can change that, make it centered if I want it to look a bit better. Save and close. And this is literally a brand new sign up form, and all I have to do is publish it. It tells us where it is. This is the location of the sign up form. If I click on it, here it is. It's at this location. If I wanted to link to this from my website, I would just create something like a button on my website that says click here to get your Business for London ebook, and the word here or the button that I create on my website would basically link to this address online. Once people sign up, if I was to put my name in here, and one of my email addresses. I have to select that, subscribe, and when we go back to Mailchimp and we go back to our audience on the left hand side here, you can see we're looking at the correct audience here called Business for London, and you can see that I have been added to the list on Mailchimp as a contact. And now when I create campaigns and use this audience, this email address will be sent the emails that I create. The emails themselves are called campaigns, and Mailchimp has a number of built-in templates which can be a great place to start. You can upload your own images to make it more branded. You can't upload attachments though, a document for example, or an image to a campaign. What you can do is you can link to external content such as a download from your website. You could have a PDF for example, which might be the ebook we were talking about. The PDF would be on a page in your website, would be a piece of media that's been uploaded to your website. It would be published, but you wouldn't link to it anywhere on the website so that people can't just navigate and find it. When you send them the campaign after they've signed up, you would give them the link in the email to where the PDF is located so they can download it from the website. Campaigns are always sent to a specific audience. You cannot send a campaign to two different audiences at the same time. However, you can replicate a campaign so that you can then send that to another audience or segment. You can schedule campaigns so that they can go out at a specific time. You can also automate campaigns. So for example, when people sign up, as I just did, you could have an automated email that goes out with the link to the ebook. With the free version of Mailchimp, there are always going to be some limitations, but you can usually automate at least one email. Email titles, of course, when you're sending them out, they should be very specific and enticing to avoid them going into spam folders. I'm just going to show you how to do an automated campaign. If I go to automations here, I can create what's called a journey. If I go to all journeys, you will see that I've started creating one here. Let's build one from scratch. I'm going to call it BFL, and I'm going to be using the Business for London audience. I'm going to start building this. So when a contact is added, what should the starting point be? So I'm going to say the first thing is that they sign up for email. And do I want to include imported contacts? Contacts that I've added to my audience can also enter at this starting point. So if I had a list of Business for London contacts that I had in an Excel spreadsheet that I saved as a CSV, I could upload them. I could import them, as I showed you earlier. There's an import option. I could import the spreadsheet, and those contacts could also start their journey here. So as soon as someone signs up for the Business for London list, either by being imported from Excel or from our form that we just created, I can add a journey step. And the step is send an email. As soon as they sign up to get the ebook, I'm going to send an email. And here it gives me the option to create that email. So I'm going to say who the email is going to be sent from, because it's my email software. It's got my information in it. I'm going to set a subject. The subject is, please find your ebook inside. This is the preview text. The preview text is what they'll see before they open up the email. And I'm going to save that. And it's basically going to send this, keep sending this every day as soon as possible. So if somebody signed up today, they would get the email. If somebody signed up tomorrow, it would continue to keep sending these emails. I'm not going to be tracking that at the moment. I'm going to use what's known as the classic builder here. And this is where I build the email. I've got different templates here. I can even code my own email. And I'm going to use one of these very basic ones. One column, one here. And now I'm going to design the email that gets sent out as soon as someone signs up. I'm going to put my logo in there, and I would start here. And then here I would type something along the lines of, thank you very much for signing up to receive our free ebook. You can find it here. It would be something like this. and the word here would be selected. I would click on the hyperlink option here, and that would be the address on my website where the PDF is located, and then I would insert that. So if my ebook was at HTTPS, just for argument's sake, business for London, say it was something like that, I would insert that, and then once I've written all the text in this email, as soon as someone signs up to this list via the form or I import them, they get this email sent automatically to them, and they can click on the link, go to the PDF and download it. I can add additional boxes here. I can add other content such as images to make my email a bit more pretty if I want to. I can link to my social media here, and essentially once I've done that, I save and close. Here are the extra features I could add. I could add an image in here, for example, and I can upload an image here. I can add as much content to this as I want to, and then I save and close it and save and return to Journey. And if I want to send further emails after they've downloaded the ebook, such as another email in a day or two, I could add more to the journey here. So for example, if I wanted to send a further email, I could say I want to put a time delay in, and I might say 1 day later I'm going to send another email. And this would take us through the process of creating another email to go out a day later. And this email might say something like, we hope you're enjoying your ebook. If you've got any questions about it, don't hesitate to get in touch with us here, and so on and so forth. I'm just going to come out of that. At the end, of course, the contact exits. And what happens is when they exit, they remain on the Business for London audience, okay, the list. And I can just create other campaigns if I want to, and those campaigns can be created manually. As you can see down here, there's a number of actions that can be added in to the journey. And when you finish doing it, you can send test emails to yourself, for example, just to test out the journey to make sure it all works, or you can just click continue. And if there's any issue, they'll tell you. The reason this is saying there's an issue is because I said I was going to send another email and the emails haven't been finished. And once you've got your journey sorted out, you click continue, and you can tell Mailchimp what your goal is, drive audience action, for example. And the most important thing, once you've created an automated journey, is to turn it on. If you don't turn it on, then when someone signs up via the form or you import someone to the list that you've created, they will not receive the emails that you've created as part of the journey. And that's it. Now, if you want to send a single email to your customers or prospects, you just click on campaigns. And if you want to create a new campaign, you choose the audience that you want to send it to. So if I want to send a single email to the Business for London contact list, I click create, and I basically design the email in the same way as I did last time. Choose the audience here, Business for London. As we know, there's only a single contact on that list, which is me. If I've created a segment by certain criteria, I could choose that here. I can personalize the send to field. So in other words, I can put the actual first name in, for example, that's that field there, and it will write to the person by their first name. And I can say who's sending the email, which is me. I can create the subject. I can decide what time I want to send the email. I could schedule it for a later time, for example, so that it goes out at a time when recipients are most likely to open, and Mailchimp will make that calculation for you. I can choose a specific time, or I can send with time warp, which is to do with the time zone of where the recipients are based. Save all of that, and then I design the content using design email, which is exactly the same as I did before. I'm going to use the classic builder here. And then you choose your template again. You would add the content of your email, adding photos and text as and where you choose. And then you would finally click continue, and you can schedule that to go out at the time that you set here. I'm going to choose finish later because I don't want to send this. As you can see, it's very straightforward to create a single email to go out to a specific list. In audience, you can create what they call segments. You choose your audience here. Let's choose a different one here. You can create a segment by different types of criteria. If I put info changed, this would segment my list by contacts that had information changed after a certain date, or before a date, or after a campaign. Then I choose the campaign there if there was one, and then I can do things like and contact rating, marketing permissions. You can see here there are a number of options to change to segment your list. And the reason to segment your list is so that you can choose specific contacts that you might want to send specific information or tailored information to. And you can keep adding options here until you've created the segment that you want. Okay, so that's sending a single campaign. Tracking performance, again, Mailchimp gives you great data that allows you to tailor campaigns to specific audiences so that you can target those that are most engaged by segmenting them, as I just demonstrated. If you go to your campaigns here, you will see, if you change to all campaigns, there's one here. You can see that 50% of the clients opened this. So there were 10 recipients. This was a client email. I can view the report here. It tells me the total number of opens, when the last open was, if it was forwarded to anyone, any clicks. It gives you demographics. And if I click these other options here, I can see which recipients opened the email, for example. And that information is a bit further down here. I'm not going to show the recipients because they're my contacts. But just so you know, there's a lot of great data here to help you analyze how well your campaigns are performing. So finally, here's some best practice advice. Using email marketing software, you could create a welcome series of emails for those who subscribe, people who sign up for newsletters, or those who download a giveaway that you might produce. You can segment welcome emails by the types of users, customers and non-customers, for example. Non-customers might receive some sort of nurturing welcome email. Customers may receive a re-engagement email, for example, welcome back. You may even create an abandoned cart email if you're emailing and selling via your website. E-commerce websites have email marketing built in, and some of the emails you can create there are things like, I think you left something behind, when people don't check out their baskets. Be consistent when it comes to building brand awareness and trust through email marketing. Customers need to see that you deliver what you say you'll deliver. If you've ever received the same promotional email from a company time and time again, you will know the importance of frequency and timing. Have a balance of different types of emails, so you're not only sharing promotions, but also being helpful, helping your customers to solve their problems, for example. And last but not least, email marketing can be used by any size business, and it's scalable. You can start small with a few customers or a few prospects. And as you grow as a business, you can add more subscribers. It can be very effective if you get the message, the timeliness, and the frequency right. It's low cost, it provides fantastic insights to audience engagement, and it allows you as a business owner to tailor campaigns for better conversions, to nurture prospects, to re-engage customers, and to stay in front of your customers and prospects in a way that allows them to engage with your emails when they're ready to open them. I wish you all the very best of luck with it. Thank you.